Hello, I'm going to take you through the main features of TX Chrono. Shall we begin? Let's imagine that we have two users, a developer and a project manager. David is a developer who wants to report his working hours, so he logs into TX Chrono and expands the project he has been working on. He finds the work item and enters his hours. The next day he's going on vacation, so he opens the out of office project and reports his hours on the work item annual leave. At the end of the week, each user should send their hours for approval. Let's do this now. The application asks for confirmation because after sending the timesheet for approval, it's unavailable for editing. Then press OK. Another user, Alan, who is a project manager, needs to build a project report. To do this, he has to be sure that all of the hours have been correctly recorded by his subordinates. First, he goes to the Review Timesheets page. From here, he can get basic information about the recorded hours. Alan selects the project. The list of users contains team members. These are Alan's subordinates on the project. He is responsible for their timesheets and can monitor, modify, and approve them. Let's select all of the users from the list. We'll also check the timetable option and click on the Get Report button. This part is now done. Let's proceed to the next week. Now for each user we see 4 figures. The first column shows the number of hours the user is expected to report during the week. This number is set by his personal schedule. The second one shows the number of hours that the user has reported for the selected week. In the third column is the number of hours the user has sent for approval. The final column will show the approved hours. When the timesheet has been filled out correctly, all 4 figures will be equal. David has reported his hours, but they haven't been approved yet. To approve David's hours, Alan has to move to the Confirm Timesheets page to select a project. Now Alan can change, approve, or decline David's hours. Let's remove 4 hours from the task and then click Save Changes. During the next step, Alan can approve these work items or decline them. David will need to update his hours before we can generate the full project report. Let's log back into David's account. The work item which has been declined is now available for editing. David updates the number of hours and sends it for approval once again. Alan logs in. He goes back to the Confirm Timesheets page, selects his project, clicks the Get Report button and goes to the current week. Alan goes to David's hours, which are still waiting for approval. He can expand work items to make sure that everything is entered correctly and the hours can be approved. Now Alan is ready to create the report for the project. He selects the Project Report menu item, chooses his project, selects all project members, chooses the current week as the date range, and then selects all the remaining fields. He can also change the field's order, select User as the first grouping field and the date as the second grouping field. He can also select the Approved Tasks Only option in order to show only approved hours in the report. All he has to do now is click the Get Report button to generate it. This can be exported to MS Word or MS Excel. Let's export the report to MS Word. Now let's go back to Alan's timesheet and look at it more carefully. The timesheet consists of work items from TFS and the virtual work items which are defined in TX Chrono itself. A work item from TFS appears in Alan's timesheet when it goes into active state and is then assigned to him. Virtual work, once defined, is visible to all users of TX Chrono. Each work item has several fields for reporting hours. Here we can see completed work and overtime fields. These fields may be customized. We can define as many fields as we need. Each field is associated with the field in TFS. If you enter hours in this field, they'll be added to the value of the appropriate field of the work item from TFS and vice versa. There are also several other information fields such as work item type and original estimate. These fields show up-to-date values of relevant fields in TFS for the selected week. The third type of field allows the user to change TFS fields within TX Chrono. For example, we can change the values in the remaining work field and they will appear in TFS. Thank you for your attention. We hope that you will enjoy using TX Chrono.